lanes, but Braxis was very fun to see how Korean players actually brought it out. We saw some good draft from both sides also, and as we go into map number 3 is going to be Tomb of the Spider Queen, and L5 having the old history of TNL members. Of course, they love to play on this map.
That they do. This is going to be a pretty exciting one. Surprised we don't get to see more of our common maps in this one. Yeah, talked about how L5 likes this map. Their ex-TNL record on this map really sticks out like a sore thumb, so it's not shocking. But I wonder how Tempest is going to respond here, because I just realized as well. Yeah, no, never mind. I had the colors mixed up on my screen. I was going to say, why would L5 pick this? Well, of course they won. So, anyways, going back to what I was saying, Tempest has been showing on DuckDuck a variety of specialist heroes on maps like this. So, I wonder if we'll see him go hammer here again. Is he going to try to pull out Azul as we've seen him do in the past? We don't even know if he would be the Azul player because we haven't seen Modern Life play Azul yet either. Going to take Tychus away right away, and that's DuckDuck's hero, so that may be something that we see, but could be played by Lockdown as well.
Yeah, we see all these DPS chosen from the beginning, first rotation, beginning of the draft, especially because if not chosen earlier, it really goes into that DPS choke, and you end up with something like Nazeebo at the end, so you don't want to put yourself into that shoes when there are just a lot more viable tanks, very high tier tanks available. I think DPS choke is the one that all the teams are trying to go into right now. And with that, I think L5, they can also go for Vala if they want to later on.
They absolutely can. With Zarya removed, it's less appealing. But there's something they can do. Even without Zarya or Ariel, you can still go Vala. Like, a lot of teams like to think that that's the only way she can play it, is this glass cannon that has so much protection. You never get to see the glass, you never get to touch it. It doesn't feel like glass because it feels like it's just shields. Well, it's definitely an option here, as L5's going to lock down that Muradin pick super early. Take it away from Sign. Sign seems to be reliant on the Muradin right now. It's the hero he's had the most success with. Even when playing against weaker teams, when he's playing on the ETC, he just doesn't look as strong because his aggressive nature on Muradin is so much more difficult to punish. He has the escape with Dwarf Toss. He has, the regen to regen all the health. So for Tempest right now, they might just pick up the ETC. I just feel like it hasn't been good for Sign. But look, they get a strong tank. They have a top-notch damage dealer, highest win rate damage dealer per game in HGC Korea on Tychus, and Hyde gets his Kharazim. So they've got some comfort picks here. And look at this. The Nazeebo ban is like, it's smart, man. Like, I don't even know what else to say. Like, this puts DuckDuck into a less comfortable position, as in the next rotation on L5 will pick up DPS.
Yep,
and
it's a really smart choice by L5 just now. And
yeah,
Nazeebo, they even played in game number 1, and they had some troubles acting against it. Even when they had Sergeant Hammer, they couldn't really push it from the beginning of the game at all. So that's a smart choice to ban out Nazeebo, just to get that out of the way.
There's the Vala ban. This feels like DuckDuck may be forced onto the Sylvanas here. L5 should not allow Gul'dan. And I think that it would be a mistake to allow Tempest to have Gul'dan. So take Gul'dan away here, and maybe even go Hammer. Hammer Gul'dan, and then you force DuckDuck onto a specialist hero. Now that could be a strong point for him, but it's going to take away some of the reliable DPS that Tempest has. You put him on a little less comfortable wave clear hero.
Yeah, that's fine. And L5, if they take Gul'dan or Leeming, Lockdown can also take Gul'dan or Leeming, and DuckDuck can also be on Tychus, which he did a few times, not too many, but he seemed pretty comfortable when he was against the weaker team. I don't know how comfortable he actually feels against a stronger team like L5, but that's also an option. Now, L5 has the card. Yep, they have just decided their card. It is Leeming and Falstad.
This will... Oh, he's going to go Tassadar. Okay. Well, I thought it was going to be a Gul'dan lock-in here for sure, but it's actually going to be the Tass Zeratul. With Ragnaros still available, I thought we might see just a Gul'dan Rag for the final lock-ins there for Tempest. They want to go down this melee Zeratul path, though. This feels very DuckDuck, right, to play the Tassadar here. It almost feels like the essence of Dami on the Zeratul. Now, Olarak, haven't been seeing a whole lot of this guy, so there's going to be a big clash in terms of silences here, pushes on the melees. That matchup between Jung-Ah and Modern Life gets more exciting every single game. We're going into game number 3 on Tomb of the Spider Queen here in HGC Korea. We'll see you guys in game. In blue, L5. SC on Li Ming, Nitrogen on Falstad, Jung-Ah on Alarak, Noblesse on Muradin, and Sway on Malfurion.
In red, Tempest hide on Kerazim, Duck Duck on Tassadar, Lockdown on Taika, Sign on ETC, Modern Life on Zeratul.
Is this Alarak's first appearance in HGC Korea? I just checked and I couldn't find him anywhere else. Like, I may have misread, but I'm pretty sure it's his first time.
It is the first time of Alarak. We saw previously in Super League Season 3 a couple of times when MVP Black and Rich using on Alarak. Let's see how Jung-Ah uses Alarak this time.
Yeah, it felt like MVP Black's wild card in the Super League Season 3 finals when paired with Malfurion, right after Malfurion's rework where he was really strong. But it didn't have much success after that. We saw it played a few times at BlizzCon, and it's fallen out of favor quite a bit. His telekinesis will pair really well against, or to pair with the root to catch heroes to go for ganks. He's a good roaming hero on this map, same as Zeratul. And what's key about the matchup between Alarak and Zeratul is that if Zeratul gets silenced, he loses his ability to Vorpal and to teleport, and he is kind of neutered in that moment, and it's very difficult to actually fight against a good Alarak who's constantly silencing you when you're Zeratul here.
And with that, yeah, that's really true. And having ETC on Tempest side, they're going to have an easier time to rotate up and down, trying to gank, soak up that EXP as the lanes are really close to each other. And L5 Swoy, that actually could have been a kill if Swoy did not root the entire back line of Tempest, but great job by Swoy just there.
All right, Modern Life versus Nitrogen going to be the solo matchup for now, which is this 4-man rotation. Mostly dominated by Tempest because of the ETC you just mentioned. In terms of gems, very even right now. And Tempest is going to grab this last soak here. L5 kind of winning that for a brief moment. Scary to be the Falstad player in this matchup, but if you're careful, can't really go wrong. Swoy has scouting drone, so that's going to help them spot and identify the positioning of Modern Life in these fights. As Noblesse comes up here, going to help clear this wave, not going to do anything more, not going to pull a Sign Muradin move, but Sign, speaking of which, comes in for the power slide here, but the stun's not enough to save Hyde. He goes down instantly as he was rooted and silenced. No escape. And
now the target's on lockdown. He is almost caught very low, but then he does get blown up at the very end. Well done by L5, and Noblesse on that Muradin looks so happy right now.
Yeah. Duck Duck could have maybe potentially auto-attacked to get the slow, but I think that was going to be a kill either way. Couldn't get the body block off. It's auto-attack Falstad, by the way. Just want to point that out as less burst damage, but more sustained damage over time. And when you get a map like this where you're kind of constantly getting minion kills over and over and over again, you build those stacks much quicker as you just kind of fly between the lanes, floating around.
Yeah, of course, and does catch Alarak, but body block does go in, and Jung-Ah is got caught. Sign just jumps in. Nitrogen jumps into the fight. Hyde just dashes away. Sign is caught in the front line. Does a lot of damage. It's just going to be one kill, and just to continue on, Tempest has ETC, has a big rotation, the power to pick off Alarak just like that, catching with power slide. But Tassadar, we have to talk about Tassadar, as it's not really on top in KR, especially because Tassadar lost that wave clear. It does not do so much damage anymore compared to before.
Yeah, that's true, and it's really important to keep that in mind. All reworks, changing of heroes, like heroes feel sometimes the way they were before, but they're actually not. And it's good that you explain that to everybody. Level 6 for both teams right now. This is a pretty even game. I mean, even the lanes are kind of tied at this point. The waves keep getting cleared and met in the middle, so not even really any damage or pressure on the turret's a slight lead here. You can see, I mean, like the slightest of slight leads for L5 in the mid lane in terms of cannon towers. Sign in good position to stop any rotations here. Modern Life's going to rotate up. They're actually going to maybe look for a pick here. It's not going to happen. The big key is that L5 has the, you know, kind of gem lethal, if you will. They're right on the clutch of putting those gems into the clutches to get the web weavers. Noblesse gets stunned here. Actually gets a nice Stormbolt off on his way out. He wants to try to turn this around. Not enough follow-up, though.
And within that time, Leeming is just safely turns in the last bits of gems on from the top. And L5 would get the first sets of web weavers, and that's going to help them a lot, especially when they have an ETC on the other side. Tempest did get few kills, just 1 kill actually, and really didn't push. I feel like they didn't really push it hard enough that they could have actually done so much more, but it just did not work so perfectly.
Well, with the web weavers here for L5, they have this nice cushion to work with as they kind of push casually down these walls here. Noblesse did build into his Q at level 1. That's why he's throwing out these Stormbolts. I feel like, why is he trying to get a stun here? They don't fall up. He's just building up damage. He's making this more powerful. And he gets mana refund, so it's not like he's wasting mana. He's actually just making his Q stronger over time. That scales really well in the late game. Naruto Jin here getting caught. Does barrel roll away with Hyde and Modern Life. So much mobility to chase heroes like this. They will get the pick. That's going to weaken this web weaver push, but it's already done its damage. Basically nullifying ammunition on all the cannon towers that are alive. In mid tower, they lost all those, and I believe in top, it's pretty damaged. In bot, just the ammo is gone. Noblesse is just building those stacks. Oh, he's barely missing any Stormbolts right now.
Yeah, compared to L5, and you might think Tempest does not have too much damage because Zeratul is just burst damage, and just you have to wait for that cooldown to actually do more damage. And just having Tychus as a solo DPS might not be enough damage, but wait until you see Archon coming out from Tastar. That's going to be the time when Tempest goes right in, and Karazim does also a lot of damage as a support. So
yep.
That's still a lot of damage. And L5, you also have to be careful. They can even melt down a Noblesse more than in the front line.
Definitely true. I don't think we're going to see 7 straight here, but still the extra flexibility that Archon is going to give to Hyde to do more Iron Fist damage is very real. Speaking of Duck, he's up in the top lane right now, just trying to push that lane, trying to get that soak to 10. Counter-Strike, a huge power spike here as well at level 10 for L5. Counter-Strike is really powerful against Zeratul as well. If you actually attack into that at the wrong moment, you are going to take some damage. You know, regardless of you trying to retreat, you are going to get counter-struck. And that's a big, big opportunity here. Archon is locked in, if there was ever any doubt. And we do see ETC and Tychus holding on to their heroics for now. It's going to be stage dive, actually. Not one of the least common maps to see it, but he can definitely get some value from that.
I think it's also because the Falstad is on the other side. You just want that global presence along with Falstad. I think that's a great option. And Tempest did have some hard time. Sign did have some crazy hard time after picking that Mosh, so maybe it's also another way of thinking.
You know, it's funny too, he's had a lot of problems with, hold that thought, we're going to see the pick here. Attempt onto Duck. Should get him with one more auto, although Lockdown's going to drop the drill here. They're going to try to turn this. Counter-Strike goes off onto Lockdown. It's not enough. Modern Life comes in. Here comes Sign. You know, he's had problems with this stage dive, as I was about to say, with getting right into the roots here. Palm just a bit too early. Oh, it barely goes off. Now they're going to turn on to Noblesse here. Lockdown does a ton of extra damage to this high health pool. Sign dodges Leeming's skill shots here. Sign's on fire right now, even after that root. Will it be enough, though? SC getting a reset here.
SC does get the reset and gets some out, but it's a 2-2 trade right now. Karazim does go on a lockdown. Looks like he'll be the last one. And Sign comes around from the side to actually help Lockdown get secure that last kill.
So it's a 3-for-3, and this is a long, extended battle. And oh no, that's 41 gems! Can Sign pick those up? He needs to pick those up. Jungle's trying to body block him away. Okay, he gets most of them. Will he get out with his life? He does. That was huge, saving those gems right there. That's all the gems they have. He's carrying all 30.
Yep, and that was a long team fight right there. Both teams trying to do... They both do not have like the most bursty damage. I would say the only burst damage is Leeming from L5. And having that Archon really, Duck really made the right push surviving at the end and shielding his teammates from, just around the wall. Well done by Duck right there.
Modern Life looking for an in here. Jungha is not the best target for him. He still has Counter-Strike available. It's going to always be a really big wake-up call for Zeratul trying to jump on an Alarak there. Just gets a little bit of harassment done. Avatar's up in just a few seconds here. And the key is that Tempest still hasn't been able to get a turn in. They're carrying a lot of gems. They're 3 off. If L5 gets one more turn in here, it's you know, it's not the end of the world, but it's a big leap for them going towards 16.
And L5 just hit level 13 there, up a talent just for the moment. Tempest do not want to back out. They want to contest all some time, as they will also hit level 13 in just a wave.
Okay, Sign wants to try to
He has
turn in
32.
Yeah.
Yes, he wants to turn that in.
He's only going to get 3 of those in, even if he does get the turn in. So got to be careful about committing to those. Maybe perhaps have Duck just pick one more up, and he goes for the turn in. Lockdown's got 3 exactly. Modern Life's going to harass here once more. Does get silenced, but is able to escape there with the help of Hyde. This is just a back and forth exchange in terms of damage trades right now. Noblesse gets a bit too far and just barely avoids that power slide. I mean, that was a close call. Modern Life does not get silenced either, so is able to blink out.
And that was a great power slide, but missed at the end. Noblesse on to chase. L5 really want to take this hard. Sign very low, boy person, just to save his teammates.
Okay, Hyde is just trying to buy time here to deny Noblesse from stopping that Hearth of Sign. It was a big win here for L5. We're going to see a stage dive attempt here as Tempest tries to re-engage, as everyone is super low for L5. SC gets healed, though, and turning on this, I think, was a mistake. They've already lost now Modern Life here, and this may be the first of many they lose. Look at Noblesse's position. He's trying to cut somebody off here. Good moves by Hyde. Now Lockdown is the target, and they are looking for him. Sign trying to come in and help out, but I think Lockdown is not long for this role. He's going to buy as much time as he can, but he barely even has mana. He will go down here, and with Nitrogen over here denying this turn-in, Tempest, with all the time Lockdown bought, still couldn't get the turn-in. They were so close.
It was very close indeed, but L5 on the upper hand right now, as they have a Tychus down on the other side. They're going to turn this in, and second sets of Weaver finally. For a moment, it actually looked like a weekend brawl for me for the last 3 minutes.
Felt that way, right? Definitely felt like a brawl. They're just making next week's brawl like L5 versus Tempest, Spider Queen.
Yep, and I gotta love those every week. We have a new brawl. And L5 really pressing hard on that. And as you said, Zeratul got silenced, and he couldn't blink out. And that was a kill, secure from L5. I think Alarak is really making a good choice. And Modern Life actually looks for a kill. Stage dive comes in from the left, does not catch anyone, but Modern Life takes the kill on Nacho Jin.
That's a huge palm. That palm is so important here, but it's still not enough. SC gets a reset, and this works out hugely in L5's favor. Sign helps Hyde escape, but once again, Lockdown is going to bite the bullet here. Does get telekinesis in. Stays alive a lot longer, but Duck's actually Lockdown stunned there. Just barely got his dimensional shift off. That was almost 2 more kills, making it 3 in total had he fallen. So even though they got the pick onto Falstad, the cost was so high. And this is during a Webweaver push, so the Webweavers continue to find damage. Now knocking down the mid keep wall. 16's up for L5. The bot keep wall may be what's next on their menu here.
Yep, those spiders are gonna find them tasty as they take those structures out. Doctor was really far from the team fight, and Tempest was very rushed to get that cut to save Modern Life and also try to get the kill on Nitrogen. Nitrogen flies all the way over. L5 just had to make a small rotation to take this second wall on the bottom.
Yep. Mid wall was the main entree that they're going to have dessert here. 2 walls down, 2 keeps open now. They almost have enough for another Webweaver turn-in. They're 52 of 60. Tempest, if they try to force a fight and lose it and get wiped, they're going to lose all the gems they have. They'll never get a turn in this game if that happens.
Yeah,
they're 3 off still.
Yeah, there instead Sign goes right onto goes for a turn-in, and he does, and he is ETC. Looks like he can actually be safe, and his entire team coming around just to save Sign.
Ooh, looking for the kill here on the Duck. Good call there. You saw the ping as well. The focus fire will lock him down. These Web Weavers are basically purely defensive right now for Tempest as the waves in all 3 lanes are pushed up to the keep walls. They already lost Duck. Lockdown's going to be the next to fall here. He's pulled in with a telekinesis. No punish here from Tempest. They tried. 2 down now, 18 to 15. They didn't have level 16. Their Web Weavers almost push the waves out of their base. In the bot lane it does, but in mid and top, unsuccessful. It's going to be a top keep for L5, pushing them 1 step closer to 20 as they retreat away here. They have vision control. Don't think they'll try to boss, but I mean, it's not available until that bot is cleared, but they almost could have. They almost could have done it.
Yep, and Tempest did get a turn in, but at the end, that was not the best choice, having Sign just disposition himself, and the entire team just had to commit so much just to save Sign and ended up losing that team fight. And L5 is really close to 12 already. Not 12, 20 already.
Yeah.
So Tempest gonna. This will be their last. This might actually be their last chance. Here goes Sign right in Power Slide. Noblesse taking half of his HP out.
Yep. Notice how he just disengages to heal up. He's gonna be ready to go back into the fight at any moment here.
That is the power of Luridin.
Yeah.
That's the trait. He gets so much HP back after 20 seconds of just.
He's like, please hurt me more. I get even more health back if you do that. Well, he's looking for an angle here. A pick. 1 pick at all would secure L5, a turn in, and 20. Even without a pick, they're trying to kind of force that positioning right now. Look at all the damage Nitrogen just put off. 3 levels of scaling ahead, but still Tempest is on the same amount of talent tiers here. Both on level 16. This is an opportunity. It's going to be hard with the scaling differences here, but that window is closing. In just a few seconds, L5 is going to hit 20. Just a few more minions. 44 out of 60 gems as well. Sign in a terrible position here. Does have to retreat.
And that counter strike did not connect. No damage at all. Void Prison does not go off on anyone. And now the palm connects on Zeratul. Is that going to be enough? Stage dive into the left side. Zeratul is the first one to fall, and along with Duck.
And that was a stage dive to who knows where. 20 is reached now. Epic Mount is going to allow Falstad to come over here to try to secure the kill. He does actually get pushed away there. Nitrogen may be the one to fall here for L5. That stage dive in, though, it was clearly a lack of communication. You know, he went totally by himself on his own. Helped L5 get an extra kill. Now it's 20. Yes, they killed Nitrogen, as he was being a bit gritty with that Epic Mount fly-in, but this is now going to be an open keep. Not going to be game ending with 14 seconds to go for Duck, 10 for Modern Life, 20 for Sign. They're going to respawn soon. L5 can't push for the win here, but they may be able to just back off, take a Web Weaver push. They may even try to boss on Web Weaver. They've got so many options. They have 51 gems available. They have that massive Storm talent advantage, and Tempest needs a miracle in this 3rd game we're in right now.
Yeah, they are actually not turning in yet because Falstad still has a lot of time. Falstad can fly over, but it does take some time, so they're going to turn in right after, it seems like. And they can also take their own camp, which is exactly what they're doing. Tempest, knowing this, if they know that L5 is split up, they have to go in right here. This is the time that they need to stage dive in, but not having level 20 yet, that's really stopping them from going all in at the moment. L5 this may be the last push. Tempest really has to go in with everything right now.
That they do. It's not going to be easy, G-Clef, as we are getting to this really strong pushing power right now for L5. They have good siege. They have Li-Ming's siege here. They have Falstad, who's got really strong auto attacks as well to push down the core if we get to that point. Modern Life goes for a risky Void. He escapes, but nothing else comes out of this. Alarak does go down. Will they be able to turn this fight now? Void Prism's down. They still don't have Storm talents, but they have a man up with a kill onto Alarak. There's just so much pressure with the Web Weavers pushing 2 lanes to the core. And worst case scenario, I feel like they just get bot keep, but they want more. They want more here. Modern Life kind of marauding around looking for an angle here. SC is super low. Hyde's going in. Modern Life gets the Vorpal there as well, and Swoy's going to get caught here. Does bolt over the wall and will get out. Very close call there for Swoy. But again, their core is under attack.
Yeah, this wave does a lot. It is 18-minute Web Weaver. It does a lot of it. Nitrogen actually flies over. Gust! All of the Tempest, and it looks like this may be enough. Let's see if Nitrogen can actually do enough damage. It is going to be Core, what a play from Nacho Jin at the end.
Nacho Jin, he has auto attack Falstad. He has a ton of damage. I talked about that earlier, the finishing power that's going to have on the core. He flies over, gets the gust off, buys enough time for the Weavers to do some extra damage. He does the damage himself. And even Duck Duck shielding is just not enough. And Tempest having a frustrating loss here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Now find themselves a match point. They did what Miracle was